What's going on, guys? Seth here from Team Union Seth, your coach of the West Side Weaviles, here for week 7 of my little friends league facing the Cherokee Chespins. So, if you haven't checked out my team builder, do that. That is up, and it explains more about why I'm bringing what I'm bringing. So just to go over his team, it looks like he brought the Pelipper, Ferrothorn, Ludicolo, Hariyama, Xurkitree, and the Lantern. So pretty much what I expected. I don't really go over and look or predict what I think my opponent is going to bring. I just kind of like to prepare for everything, have a general idea of what I can do against different squads he wants to bring. But he does have the Pelipper, he does have the Rain, so my dedicated lead is the Landorus Therian form. There's the Pelipper, shiny Pelipper. I am just going to get up my rocks. That is my move. I know that's exactly what I want to do. I can live the Stealth Rock. If he burns me, it's not like it's whatever. If he burns me with the Scald, he only has the Lantern, so he didn't bring the Sceptile. So he only has one electric immunity. So Jolteon is looking really good in this match. And he didn't bring the Kabutops. He brought the Ludicolo instead. So it's not like I wouldn't call that concerning. Chestnut definitely has a little less viability. It's more mainly there now for the Hariyama and even potentially the Ferrothorn. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I do want to get my rocks up. Rocks will start to chip down his team, especially that Lantern is going to be very difficult to take down. Chestnut can also be there for that. And I also have Earthquake on Regice for that too. I also have Earthquake on this thing, so if I want to end up saving this, that's definitely something that could happen. Earthquake's definitely going to do a lot to that Lantern from this Landorus. I'm going to actually count that. I mean, I didn't prepare a whole lot for Lantern. I didn't see it as much of a threat, which is not a huge threat, but it's definitely something that if gone unaccounted for, it can be a little dangerous. The Xurkitree could definitely be Z-move, so it is his unlimited Z-move user, so that could be potentially scary. My switch-in for that thing is always going to be the Regice. You can take hits, it has the leftovers, and can switch in. I do also have the Jolteon that does have Volt Absorb, so there's not a whole lot he can do to my Jolteon. He can Energy Ball or Hidden Power or whatever. Ooh, he actually goes for the U-turn as I try to get my rocks up. Interesting, so I get the rocks up and he U-turns out. Probably going to go into either Lantern or Ludicolo. My guess would probably be Ludicolo because the Lantern can, or doesn't really want to take an Earthquake from this thing. So if he does go into Ludicolo, I am just going to double out into the Regice. Let's see. Oh yeah, Landorus easily kills the Lantern with an Earthquake at that point. So let's actually calc how much Regice is going to take from a Ludicolo right now. So he does go into that Ludicolo. Hydro Pump is doing a maximum of 28%, so I'm not really worried. I could also go into the Chestnut, into Hulk. That's definitely an option there. But I am just going to double into War Machine. My Regice goes to the Hydro Pump and he actually misses. So that's unfortunate for him. But it wouldn't have made too much of a difference. It would have done about a quarter. That would have done about 25%, maybe a little bit more. But not too concerning. So I could Ice Punch. I could definitely just go for an Ice Punch and get some damage off on this thing. He could also switch into the Lantern. Lantern's definitely is probably his most likely switch. He's probably going to predict like an Ice Beam or some sort of something else. So I am going to predict he's going to go into the Lantern. Ice Punch is a very safe move, but I'm just going to go for the Earthquake. Predicting Lantern. I don't think he wants to stay in with this thing. I really don't think he's going to want to stay in because he knows, an Ice Beam or whatever can definitely hurt, and he can't really hit me with anything. So there's the Hariyama actually. He switches in. So I go for the Earthquake and it does a little bit of damage, not a ton. I'm just actually going to switch into my Landorus. So he could go for an Ice Punch, which will hurt, but I can get Intimidate off, and then potentially switch into something else. Let's see, I mean, I could go into Hulk, my Chestnut. It's definitely an option. Let's see, let me calc how much we're taking. Because I did calc from what if he was burnt with the Guts set. Let's calc a non-Guts set. Let's just say he's Assault Vest. So he's doing 33 to 39, and then Drain Punch does about 30 to 35 back. So actually, let's do that instead, just in case he wants to Ice Punch. Even an Ice Punch, I don't think is going to do a ton to me. You know, if he close combats, so be it. Not a huge deal. Ice Punch from the Hariyama is doing less than close combat. So, yeah, I'd rather just go on a Chestnut, play it a little bit safe. There's the Ice Punch. Not a big deal. So we eat that up pretty well. I don't think he's going to want to stay in, so there's no point in Spiky Shielding. Synthesis I don't need to do yet. So it's either Drain Punch or Seed Bomb at this point, honestly. And Drain Punch is just better against his team. You know, if he wants to switch into Pelipper, I have my War Machine that can switch into that. So I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch and write down that he does indeed have the Ice Punch. So I'm actually in a really good spot here. I'm very happy with this. No Kabutops. I'm actually really surprised. That thing did a lot to my team. It had a pretty decent matchup, honestly, so I'm very surprised to not see the Kabutops. He might have been scared of the Mega Slowbro. That thing could have definitely shut it down, but his team really beats Slowbro. Ludicolo beats it, Ferrothorn beats it, Lantern beats it, Circuitry beats it, everything beats it. So I'm not sure what he was thinking, but Kabutops, I'm glad it's not here. I did prepare for it. I'm glad it's not here, but I am surprised it's not here. So there's the Pelipper. So I do just go for the Drain Punch. It does a little bit of damage, but he takes the Rocks damage as well. And I'm just going to simply just double into... Oh, no, let's think about this. So, he could either Hurricane or he could Scald or he could U-turn. So, he knows I'm going to have to switch because he thinks I'm going to go for a Hurricane. Or I think he's going to go for a Hurricane. So I could switch into Thor, like Jolteon, and eat up the Hurricane if I think that's what he's going to do. He could also just U-turn, predicting me to switch. However, U-turn's not really going to do much to Jolteon, I don't believe. Let's actually calculate real quick. Let's see, Pelipper, are you defensive? U-turn, 14 to 17, that's not enough damage for me to be worried. So he goes for the Hurricane, so I predict that correctly and I eat it up, and I don't get confused, which is awesome. So I could go for the Volt Switch. I really just think he's going to go into the Lantern here, which would be a super easy play for him. Let's see. How much is the U-turn gonna do to this Lantern from Scizor? Because I do want to just double out here. Let's just say Ultra Pivot. And let's bring up my Scizor. My Iron Man. U-turn does 53 to 63%, so I really don't think he's gonna switch, or I don't think he's gonna stay in here. He really can't stay in here, honestly. So I'm gonna double out into the Scizor, predicting his Lantern. And write down that he has the Hurricane. So we've seen half of Pelipper's moveset. He's only gone for a couple moves, but a lot of switching for him. I've been putting on a lot of pressure. I'm putting on a lot of pressure with this team, making good switches, and predicting him super well. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for how this is going so far. And I think I do have the matchup. I do have a little bit of an edge on him. So his Rain is gone in 2 turns, so he only has 2 turns left of Rain. So the Ludicolo is just not going to be fast after that. So we're not really going to have to worry about that. You know, the double Scarf isn't really going to work out unless he brought like Scarf Circuitry. But Terrakion still does a number to his team. I mean, let me count Terrakion on the Lantern. Terrakion, in close combat, does over half to the Lantern. Earthquake does 61 to 72. So Terrakion just does so much to his team. It's crazy. There he goes up to Circuitry, actually. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. So he could Z Hypnosis, which would give him a speed boost. He could just Thunderbolt. I mean, HP Fire is not really going to be a thing because of the rain. I doubt it. Let's see, can Scizor live a Thunderbolt? That's my question. Can Scizor live a Thunderbolt from a Circuitry? Let's see. Just go with that one. We can live a Thunderbolt, and U-turn does a lot of damage. U-turn actually has a decent chance. It's about like a 50% chance to knock him out. It's about a 50% chance to knock him out after Rocks. I'm just gonna go for the U-turn. If he wants to Z Hypnosis, like, Scizor doesn't have a whole lot of use, especially, and I'd rather him burn his Z move now. on the Scizor and then be able to come in and wake up later at some point. Scizor doesn't have a ton of use. It does do a lot of damage to his team, but it doesn't knock out anything. It's not meant for one specific thing. So I don't necessarily need it. I'd rather him burn his Z-move on this or just do a crap load of damage to this thing and knock it out. I would much rather just end up going with that. I'm really surprised he went into the Xerxes, because if I Volt Switch, this thing is still taking a lot of damage. It's still going to take a lot of damage, and I could have came into something that would have done a lot better. Ooh, he switches into the Hariyama. Yeah, that is taking a lot of damage. Now that I think about it, he didn't switch into Lantern. That leads me to believe that he's not Volt Absorb, but I really, really doubt he wouldn't be Volt Absorb, considering I have a Jolteon. So, I'm actually going to take this opportunity. Let me see how much a close combat does to the Pelipper. Because if I can take it out after another Rock Switch in, he doesn't have any switch-ins to this thing, to the Terrakion. Close combat does 26 to 31. He's at 62.5, so he'd go down 25%, which would bring him to 37. We do a lot of damage. Two close combats would take him out. I'm just gonna go into you. Honestly, like if he could bullet punch with the Hariyama, but he's not. You know, just 30 to 36%. I'm just gonna close combat. Honestly, I'm just gonna close combat. This is gonna do a ton of damage. A ton of damage. Ooh, alright, I'm excited now. I'm excited now. Oh, this is gonna do a ton of damage. This is gonna do so much damage to anything on this team. I mean, Ferrothorn's gonna die. Ludicolo is definitely gonna die. Let's calc that one. You know, Ludicolo dies after rocks. Lantern's 2-hit KO'd. Xerxes, if he wants to bring that thing in, dies to the close combat after 2 rock switches easily. This thing goes down. Everything goes down. It's insane. Like Terrakion's so strong. Oh my god. So let's see what he wants to do. He's thinking pretty hard about this one. He knows he's screwed. He knows he's screwed. Oh man. All right, let's see what he wants to do. Oh, this thing just does so much damage to his team. I was so baffled that no one took this thing early in the draft. This was, I think, my second to last pick or something like that. It went so late in the draft, and I was really happy I got it. So, I mean, Terrakion's so unbelievably powerful. It's so underrated, honestly, in League format. It's so underrated, and no one really picks this up or uses it well. Like I said before, I've only brought this thing to 2 matches, and it hasn't even hit the field yet. This is the first time that it's hitting the field, and it's going to destroy lives. It is destroying something. So he's waiting a long time. I'm not sure what he's thinking about. I mean, his switch is probably Pelipper, or he's got to sack something, and then, I mean, honestly, his best switch is probably the Pelipper to get back up the rain, and then go to Ludicolo on this thing. I could be Focus Sash, so that could also be a problem for him. So if I was Focus Sash and he brings in that Ludicolo after the rain from the Pelipper, well, 1, I still outspeed it because I'm Scarf, and 2, he doesn't know if I'm Sash, so I can live the hit and knock him out anyway. So I do outspeed him. Actually, let me see. Do I outspeed a timid Ludicolo in the rain? So if he's, let's just say if he's timid. 262. Let me count that right now. 262 times 2. I do not. I barely miss outspeeding it, but I mean, this thing's max speed is as much speed as I can get. I don't outspeed a timid Ludicolo, so I will have to switch until I find out he's modest or until that rain goes away. So that's a little bit of a problem, but I'm not too worried about it. Ludicolo is not an issue. I have the Regice. I have the potential Chestnut if I need it. So here comes the Pelipper. He brings it in, gets his rain up. I do enough damage to close combat. We haven't seen an item yet. Well, even if he's Scarfed, I'd knock it out anyway, so yeah, I'm Scarfed, I'm faster. Even if he's Scarfed, I knock it out anyway. So there we go, Terrakion kills the Pelipper with close combat, and we are set. So he's most likely just going to bring in the Ludicolo. There it is. I don't outspeed a timid Ludicolo, and I can't lose this thing yet. It just does too much damage to his team. So I'm just going to double out into War Machine the Regice and see what we can do from there. So let's see. He's probably just going to Hydro Pump. He's probably just going to Hydro. I mean, he could Scald, but there's really... I mean, Scald is going to knock me out either way. Whatever he goes for is going to knock me out. So I go on a Regice easily, and honestly, I can just stall turns. Let's see, he's saying he has to go, or we have to do this quickly. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll see. Let's see what's going to happen. I mean, this Terrakion just does so much damage. It's insane. Goes for the Giga Drain on my Regice, does 11%, which is nothing. I could Curse, but I don't think that's the proper play. I think he's going to double, like he did last time, I think he's going to double back into Hariyama. So, I don't want to risk going into Thanos, into the Terrakion again. Let's see if Jolteon can take a hit. Let's see if Jolteon can just take like a Hydro Pump, I guess. I mean, he can take a Hydro Pump, can he? What are we at? 71? Nah, can't really take a Hydro Pump. I'm just gonna Ice Punch. He goes a Ferrothorn, interesting. So, I could start setting up curses. I don't really want to, but I could. He's probably gonna go for a Leech Seed or something, or maybe even a Gyro Ball. This is actually just gonna be my opportunity to go into Hulk. Is it Leech Seed or Gyro Ball? It's either Hulk or Iron Man. Hulk or Iron Man. So Chestnut or Scizor. I mean, Superpower is going to destroy his team anyway. So yeah, an Adamant Banded Superpower is going to do a lot. There's his Rocks. He sets up Rocks, which is not a bad play. I'm just going to go for the Banded Superpower. I'm pretty sure it takes this thing out. Let me calc that real quick. Let's just, yeah, it does a lot. I mean, if he's not super invested in defense, it takes him out. But there's nothing he can really do to knock me out, and this thing is going to do a lot of damage to anything he wants to bring in. Let's even see. Does 61 to 72 to Lantern, and I can even just double out into Regice. So let's see. We saw Giga Drain from Ludicolo, and we saw Stealth Rock from the Ferrothorn. Alright, so I'm not sure what he wants to do. You know, Superpower is going to do a lot to this thing. It has a good chance to knock him out. And there it is. So the Scizor knocks out the Ferrothorn with Superpower. He's probably going to want to bring in the Ludicolo. Because he knows he can outspeed. Bullet Punch isn't going to do a ton because he resists it and I'm -1. And he wants to take advantage of these last two turns of Rain. So he's probably just going to bring in the Ludicolo, which would, you know, seems to be his best switch in at this point, especially to take advantage of that Rain. So and I could double into War Machine. He's probably just gonna go for the. Can Landorus live in HP Ice from the Circuitry? Can this Landorus live in HP Ice? He doesn't have HP Ice on this set. I cannot live in HP Ice. So I'm just gonna double into Landorus. What does he go for? Ooh, Z Electric Terrain. Interesting. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, that's pretty cool. So he could go for the HP Ice, and it does knock me out. It does knock me out, but honestly I think I'd rather lose this thing. And get a fresh switch into Thanos. So I'm actually just going to Earthquake and try to... Alright, there's the Energy Ball. We knock it out with the Earthquake. There it is. So we knock this thing out. Circuitry's gone. And at this point, Terrakion just destroys his team. So, I mean, Terrakion destroyed his team anyway. So, it doesn't really matter. But either way, there's the Ludicolo. I'm just going to let him kill me. And then just start murdering things with Terrakion. I mean, I could go for the 6L. I guess I could. I'm just going to U-turn. There's the Ice Beam. He kills me. And bring in Terrakion. And close combat. Close combat knocks him out. He's probably going to go on a lantern at this point, which is my chance to switch into the Chestnut, and I think Chestnut can honestly just clean up this game for me. I think it just cleans up. He's got to go on a lantern. There's no reason for him to go to Hariyama at this point. He doesn't outspeed. Even at -1, Bullet Punch is not killing me. He's got to go into Lantern. He doesn't know I'm Scarfed yet, so that could be a little dangerous for him. What is he at? Yeah, he's at full health. I don't, he doesn't come in, so. Let's see. Let's see what he wants to do. I mean, he's definitely going to go to Lantern. There's no reason for him to go to Hariyama here. If he goes to Hariyama, I just close combat again, and he's stuck with Lantern anyway. So there's absolutely no reason for him to bring in anything but the Lantern. But let's see what he's going to do. If he brings in the Lantern, I'm just going to switch into the Chestnut. So it's not a huge deal. Wow, okay, he goes to Hariyama. Let me calc really quickly, just to check that this thing does not die. For -1 defense. Yeah, no, I'm not dying to a Bullet Punch. Close combat knocks him out. Terrakion gets another kill. What's that, 3 in this game? Yeah, it killed Pelipper, killed Ludicolo, it killed Hariyama. So that's 3 kills. And he brings in the Lantern. I want to save Terrakion. I really want to save Terrakion. And not let it die. So I'm just going to go into the Chestnut. I can replace moves from Lantern, right? I mean, I don't have any investment. I don't have any special investment, but it's a Lantern. It's a Lantern. So I don't think he's going to be able to kill me. Even if he wants to go for Ice Beam. I mean, it does 34 to 41, and then my C-Bomb does 52 to 61 back, so not a huge deal. Alright, so we just double into Hulk. I have the Spiky Shield if I really wanna do some stuff. But I'm just gonna double out. Would an Earthquake from Terrakion have killed this thing if I wasn't Scarfed? Let me see. No, it wouldn't even kill this thing, so not a big deal. Terrakion wouldn't have gotten that kill anyway. So let's see. Just go for the C-Bomb. Even if he wants to Ice Beam, it doesn't kill. It doesn't even come close to killing. I don't even think it's 2 KOs. There's a Thunder Wave. That's actually a good play because that's kind of his only chance of winning at this point. I'm just going to go for the C-Bomb again. Excuse me. Yeah, I am a little sick, guys. If you watch the team builder, I am a little sick. There's the Ice Beam, so I kind of called that one. But we do get that back. I'm just gonna Synthesis, actually. You know what? I'm gonna fuck with him. We're just gonna Synthesis and watch him squirm. I'm not gonna Spiky Shield. I'm just gonna C-Bomb this time. If he paralyzes me, he paralyzes me. It's not a big deal. But actually, I can. If I get paralyzed, which I don't. All right, there we go. And that's the game. So we do end up winning with a 5-0. I felt like I was in control the whole game. There wasn't really anything he could do. I did make a lot of good predictions. I had him on the ropes the whole time. My team was built really, really well, honestly. Not to toot my own horn, I don't really like doing that. But I really felt like I built very well. I prepared very well for his reign. The double Scarfer was really, really cool. And I'm super excited for the rest of the season. And Terrakion got some kills. Terrakion hit the field for the first time and got 3 kills. So I'm super excited. I definitely want to try to bring this thing more, but we'll see. But that's it for this one. I will see you guys in the next video.